off the patrol. Hey, 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 we off the patrol.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Herspiration Happy Hour episode 8. This is the male takeover. And so today I get the pleasure of being a fly on the wall amongst a lot of men that's in the house tonight. And with further ado, I have the co-host, Jay Caesar, in the house, who's now going to take over the mic for the male takeover.
I can do that. What's up, how everybody doing out there? First, let's go ahead and introduce our guest. To my right of me, let me make sure. All right, to my right of me, we got my man. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
B.I.G. fellow, 1/3 of Metro Cartel.
In the middle,
Doug Lowe, 1/3 also.
to the left of me.
Ivan T, the last of the three.
What's up, Ivan T? My first time meeting. What's good?
What it do, what it do.
Ain't nothing.
Good to
Only
be here.
person y'all missing is Sir Charles, right? I ain't got the name right?
No, it's him, but he
He ain't in the group no more?
They said
Oh, for
1/3.
real?
yeah.
Oh,
I
I might have to be a little off. Count money and bills. That's it. Alright, first we're gonna go ahead and start off. Get like a little what? Want some to drink?
No, introduce what you all are drinking.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. We got a little bit of extension because it's hot out there. So later on tonight we don't want to be sweating all night. We got this is deli on. What else we got? We got some Hendrix up there. So we right for right now. So we good. We're gonna keep this this podcast good. We're gonna have to scratch this one. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But go ahead. Go ahead. Introduce yourself, fella.
He did.
Nah, he did. Introduce himself?
Yes, he
Oh,
did.
yeah, he
Everybody
told
went
me his
around.
name
Look
was-
at there.
Oh, yeah.
Look, you know what?
Right, I thought we got in here, man. You know what I'm saying? I just got off work, ain't got a lot of food in my stomach yet, but you know. But now, go ahead and tell us a little bit about the Metro Cartel. How y'all, I know how y'all joined because I found out already, but because we had to scratch the last one, I'm going to have to ask y'all to answer that question for us one more time. So let us know how y'all got together and joined the Metro Cartel.
But I think you missed the last one.
I'm the designated. We all met in college. We all went to Johnson C. Smith. This was 2004. Yeah, so how we all came together, we all kind of knew each other because we all was from the DC area. So we all knew each other, but we didn't know that everybody rapped. And personally, I didn't really take rap serious back then. So one night, it was before a party. Everybody was, turning up pregame before the party in the gym. And a cypher just started. You know how you just be out there, somebody just start rapping and then somebody else just started. So that happened. And then, the guy to my far left just had the idea, like, everybody just need to get together and make some music. And
Far left eye.
So you all didn't know each other at all before then?
To my father.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
This was in Charlotte. I don't know if y'all know Johnson.
Charlotte.
Yeah, that was in Charlotte.
That's the JMU or whatever you went to, right?
JCSU.
JCSU. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and the name Metro Cartel just came because we wanted to rep the DC area, and we didn't want to say nothing, like we didn't want to just make up like a corny name. So we wanted to, let everybody know where we was from, and DC Metro area, and because all of us was from different places in the DC Metro area, it's like cartel because we all over. So it's Metro Cartel.
That's what's up. I know that y'all be on y'all business though. I gotta give y'all that. I see the Spotify's, the Apple, the iTunes, the everything, the websites. Y'all got it all. Y'all join forces. My question: do it make it easy? I know you. I know you as Dolo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So. You know,
so he could probably speak more to that. All I know is the group.
I know him as Dolo, so because when I met him, that's when I was rapping.
And to me, this is challenging. So I can't. How was it? On your own.
Enough to make you quit almost, huh?
Yeah, man. There's a lot of ups and downs with like the music shit, man. And one thing is, if you don't have like the right people in your corner, like that's like genuinely supporting you, not people that you might text and say come on, they might say I got you, I'm coming on, and don't show. I'm talking about people like even if they don't, like they still support you and telling you to keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
Because you never know who's watching. So
That's
that's
what-
what kind of kept me kind of motivated.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Has the shift in music and culture and technology made it easier for you now? Or harder?
Social media a little bit because it's so much technology where people can make fake accounts and buy followers and buy comments now. So like the actual work, we don't really know who's actually working or getting that, you know, that real recognition. So that's the hard part for real.
Yeah, that's what made it harder.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the funny thing is, like I was listening to, heard somebody say, the sad thing is, that's your resume now, your followers.
Yep.
They don't care what you talking about, what you doing. If you got 1 million followers just by tripping up every day, hey, Snip, we gonna go ahead and give you a record deal. Like that's, I mean, that's sad though. I think, but I mean, for real, I mean, I think like the state of music, I mean, a lot of people say it's good, but I think as far as like the purchasing and the content, it's like, I put it like this, it's like if you spend $200 on a shirt and you come to find out the design on it, the band just threw a paintball at the joint and charge you $200 for it.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is, that's how they doing it with music now though. You know what I'm saying? That's, but you know what I think cursed music? When Jay came out and said, I don't write, that ended it. Because now everybody tries to emulate that.
Nah,
Which,
I feel like
I
Jay,
think nobody
I
was
feel like,
really doing that at first, but now, but what I'm saying is when Jay said I don't write, Jay didn't write, but his so-called freestyle, they made sense.
right.
So you see what I'm saying? It's a difference. When people heard I don't write, I ain't gonna lie, when I heard it back in the day, I'm like, damn, this guy will freestyle a whole song. He's vicious. Until I seen the interview when he was in the joint with Timberland, I said,
Just
he's
memorization.
punching in on 24/7. Like if I had bread, I could do that too. You know what I'm saying? But when I think people took that and kind of ran with, because now if you listen, you hear all these little dudes. Oh, I don't write. I don't write. I finished the whole mixtape in 2 days. And you think about, but and when I heard somebody say that, I said, this brother just told you. He's basically just telling you he's robbing you in your face with no mask on. I finished the mixtape in 2 days, and I made $2 million off of it. That's a robbery with no mask, no gun. He just smacked you and said, "Give me your money." I mean, it's cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like, come with that. Come on, dog. Like, you told me you spent 2 whole days on making a 12-song mixtape, and you done skyrocketed through the moon. Hey, Slim, I'm hurt. Like, you took my bread, you know what I'm saying? And all you made it rich off of two days?
I feel like a lot of these new artists, these younger artists, this generation grew up on Lil Wayne. Like, if you look at all of these younger artists, they look like Lil Wayne. Like all of them are a different version of Lil Wayne. So I can't really blame it on Jay because Lil Wayne got not writing from Jay, but even Lil Wayne stuff still made sense.
I
Still made sense.
Not
But
everybody's that gifted though.
exactly.
But what I'm saying is, I think they took the
That's why
concept
everybody
of.
can rap.
But what I'm saying is, I think they took the concept of not writing and went too far.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, Jay kicked it off. I mean, when people were, dang that man, because when he said he didn't write, I was amazed. Because I'm like, I go in the studio, how you not write? Until I started thinking about it, well, he got unlimited funds, so we gotta write, because we gotta pay for every minute we in that joint, you know what I'm saying? But then once I did, everybody I just noticed after that started following suit. Oh, I don't write. But then my thing was, I started living like, but you sound like you don't write. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference. You know what I'm saying?
Making up words.
Yeah, you just making
It's the
stuff
beat-
up.
the beat that drives it.
But then, like I said again, when you hear somebody tell you, man, I made $1 million off a mixtape, and then they tell you it only took them 2 to 4 days to make it, that's highway robbery to me. That's not fair.
Yeah.
I can sound like a hater, but I'm sorry, that ain't fair.
It all depends on the quality. If you can do it in 10 days and it be that, then
But
it's
what quality am doing in 10
Pop made
days?
Machiavelli in 7 days.
you know what I mean? So you know what I mean?
What? I'm not believing that.
Look,
Hey, everybody
studio
said
is
it.
like 5
yeah,
songs
you're
a
right.
day,
But look at
essentially.
the quality. Okay, but look at the quality, though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Like, he gave you quality.
You can do it in
These
that
rappers
time,
now, they
but
give
it's
you a
quality.
I ain't got to put right there, skirt, and they think of something.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
good.
Yeah, it's like a whole ad lib. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying they can do it, but I'm just saying that, you know, it's certain people that have done it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I mean, like,
be good.
I think Young Thug, he can do it.
I don't know.
Young Thug like that, dog.
I mean, he got some songs that I be rocking out.
I ain't gonna say I'm gonna listen to the whole Young Thug album.
He got some songs that I be rocking
like that Jeffrey joint, and I noticed how he ran with the cadences and his tunes, and Young Thug got it. Yeah, I think Young Thug do got it.
You know melody.
Yeah, he know melody like crazy. But let me switch it because I think we ran off on music a little too much. All right.
Okay. This is the male takeover. This is what you all discussed. So you have what you want to talk about next then?
Oh,
I know that. But I mean, I'm curious about, like, even with the social movement for some people, and then you still have the younger guys still talking about all their Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all of that. But then you have the older ones, like Jay-Z now is more conscious of the music he puts out.
Right.
It's like that Gucci somewhere.
Well, he does.
Might not have 50 G's on his
I know we
chest.
talked about before.
That regular white t-shirt might go 500.
You've made this shift before.
Yeah, I know I have, because it took me a while to actually try to find my sound and try to like I think I just told Jay through in the last one, the first episode. It took me a while to figure out my sound, so every project I put out, like the last 2 songs would be conscious, but I just didn't know how to make a full catalog with just conscious music, so I had to like kind of like study how to do that. And it's like you just work on your skills, man. Just like study your craft, and once it come to you, like once you become it yourself, like as a person,
Right.
then it will come to you as far as like your music goes, your work goes. So you'll see it, but it's just how you work and how you study.
Is that an agreement with how you all?
They've been doing it.
Oh.
I'm just
I think I said it on the last one. That's how I live my life.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a diehard Pac fan, so
But Pac was conscious, though.
exactly. So like that was always in my music. Like I remember watching like the Rhyme and Reason. I think.
Oh, that's my
wasn't
joint,
Rhyme.
yeah.
It was, I don't know. It was
Backstage joint or
it
the
was-
Rhyme and Reason joint?
It might have
the
been.
backstage joint was like all black and white with Wu-Tang and all of them on it.
No, it wasn't that joint.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
think it was the joint where Ice-T was going around talking to people. But
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
And he interviewed Bun B,
Yeah.
and he was like, you could tell real artists from the fake artists, cause like real artists got that B side. Like it ain't just all about
the
getting
same
money
thing. Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know the lavish lifestyle. They
Mm-hmm.
tell you about the hard times, and you know they don't want to be doing the stuff that they doing, but they gotta do it, and like things like that. Like so, those are the type of artists that you know is real, because they can tell you like what it's really about.
Yeah.
Like everybody else is just watering it down. So I always feel like your music is supposed to have that
Reflection.
reality to it,
That
the
element.
reality, and also it's supposed to be a reflection of you as well.
Right,
So
right.
I always try to give my reality when I create music. My music is my reality. Like I don't make music for everybody else. I make music for me, to be honest. Like if I like it and I could go around, I'll vibe to myself all
No
day.
music for nobody else.
I don't make music for other people. Like that's where you go wrong.
Keep it a buck.
I
Not
don't.
one time.
I don't. Like I can't say in the process of making it, I might say, oh, people might hear this part and they might go crazy. Like I can't say I don't think about if other people hear
Right,
it.
yeah.
But when I'm making it, it's for me. Like I like the way it sounds.
Right,
And
right.
I'm just guessing about things that you may like if you were to hear the music. So
That's
So
real.
what, you're talking about where you want the truth to be out there. You don't get that on social media. Not just, you talk about people who want to be rappers and singers, and they're putting all of this stuff out there, but even social media is not that reality. It's perception of reality, but we know it's not reality. And so this is what our youth are looking at. So, do you ever feel like there's a social responsibility for what you put out there in terms of your content?
Of course. I mean, the hard part with that is 2 things. Say for instance, like the police brutality. I don't want to like jump off this topic, but like police brutality, you might see them post clips where like people getting killed. Like the guy that got shot in the car with his girlfriend.
Hey,
the
Slim,
guy that got shot in the street.
Hey, Slim, I was literally laying on the couch and the joint came on my Facebook Live. I'm thinking I'm watching something I'm watching. And I'm like, this for real?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
So just imagine a kid just scrolling. Everybody posting, reposting, scrolling. But now a lot of people on both sides, which is
but it's deep. But can I say something? My bad. You don't mind if I cut you off? Can I say something? If you think about certain things, it's deeper than that though. Because I mean, think about the stuff that they cut off and don't let you view.
Right.
But they set that joint up there and let you watch that joint for an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, let somebody get killed on live joint and didn't pull it off till people started wondering, how are we still watching this joint for a whole hour? Right. Like, it's deeper than a lot of things that we actually see. Like, that was there to let us know. Like, I look at it like, hey, Slim, like how they did with the slaves. Hey, we gonna string you up in the middle of the field to keep all the other ones in check when y'all start getting out of hand.
Yeah, that's the point I'm about to make. Yeah. It's a tactic to me.
Yeah, it's a tactic.
But then on the flip side, you got the people who are in these neighborhoods and stuff happen and the information not getting out. Mm-hmm. You know, just like the shit keep happening and it's like nobody in the world know about this, only us, because my father lived in Southeast, not too far from him. They had a shooting the day before Mother's Day. Easter. Shot up the whole neighborhood trying to chase somebody, and I think one of his neighbors got shot. They shot up my father's truck. You know, never made the news. We just had a high-speed chase by my job 2 days ago on the highway next to my job. Never made the news. I'm talking about FBI, everything out there. So a lot of people post that. Yeah, so a lot of people post this stuff to get the information out there, but at the same time, you got people posting it just to retweet, reblog, stuff like that, which is it's iffy, man. And then, prime example, somebody posted somebody getting killed, and I reported it just to see what Instagram would do. And they said this don't. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. But then if you post somebody like a Umar Johnson or say brother,
that snatch it down. Yeah, it will. I know they had to flag you try to do a video with somebody's song in it.
Yeah,
like I can't post the joint. Like, they do it quick.
Yeah,
that's wild. That's wild. But even with I guess with the like we talking about with the social media and all that, how you feel about like the state of the world that the kids gotta come up in there. Like, I don't know, anybody got kids? You got kids?
No, I don't have kids. I got nieces and nephews.
Yeah, nieces. You got kids? Yeah. That means you got kids.
It's way crazy because I look at it as like you always see, like they always say, like every generation, before the other one grows up a little bit faster. But their generation, like these kids now, is like a jump forward. Like they can't, there's no hiding the information from them. At first you can protect your kids from what liquor is, what cigarettes is, what weed is, in a sense, unless you grew up in that kind of environment. I'm talking about even like suburban like kids. Like if your child is on social media, they seeing sex and value. Like you said, they just scrolling. Depending on, you don't know who they following.
Well, hold on.
You don't know who they following.
No, it's not an age limit, but I'm gonna put it like that. You can't control it because it's all in your kid. I'm gonna put it like
it does.
My daughter has a tablet. She knows. She ain't gonna be no Instagram, no Facebooking.
But what's the percentage of people who parent like that?
Oh no, I feel you. That's what I'm saying. It's based on the parent though.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got.
What's the percentage? Like that's a small
because now parents
percentage.
want to be their kids' friend.
It's not even that.
That's the problem.
It could be that the parents just don't have time. Like they just not there. They working.
I ain't with my 24/7, but
I'm thinking my child making straight A's in school. I ain't thinking about what they doing on Instagram. Like if people parent like that,
that's the problem.
That's what I'm saying.
But look, this is what I'm saying.
Is there a correct way to parent?
But hold on, it's a correct way to parent. The same way you came up. Before you did anything,
I wouldn't say I came up okay, but it's some shit.
But what I'm saying, we all came up and did some shit. But what I'm saying is, your parents instilled a certain amount of fear in you that I bet you thought about it first.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
I'm beating that. Tell me in my line.
But that didn't work for everybody.
You
had some friends whose parents beat the shit out of them, and they was the wildest.
It still depends on.
So
I think
so fear don't always work.
I mean, I'm not saying you just going in there and whooping your kids' ass just because you started.
But I'm saying that they deserve it 9 times out of 10, but them ass
But
whoops just didn't
also,
work.
kids is smart enough to know, hey, not only fear you, but because you're showing me something, I respect you.
Like the moral.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying. So in a manner, you are showing them fear, but it's like I respect them just because of what they do. So what I'm saying by that is, like, yeah, it's a form of fear, but it's also a form of respect, even at that young age.
Yeah, but
You know what I'm
also
saying?
there's curiosity. The child has curiosity, so you can't stop that either.
Oh, no, I get
And
that.
social media just makes it easier. That's why. So back to my point, like theirs is just like a leap forward. You got all this gay stuff, like that's like in their face. That's on the news. That's everywhere. So you
Well,
got like a 5-year-old child.
They do that on purpose. Though.
You got a 5-year-old child
That's purpose.
seeing all this stuff about being gay, about sexuality. They don't even know what their sexuality is.
So they
yet.
already
don't
know
know
what
what
they
to be.
like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So how are you gonna impose something on a child's mind about sexuality when they're not even ready for that yet?
That's because they win.
So this is what I'm saying. Like they
run the world.
So back to my point is like theirs is like a leap forward as far as growing up. Like they took a leap forward. Like so now you gotta have this conversation with your 5-year-old about what it is being gay. What it is being gay.
That's horrible.
When you was probably like 8, 9 years old, like calling somebody gay or faggot was something funny.
Yeah,
like you didn't
yeah,
you just knew you knew it was somebody who probably liked the same sex, but it wasn't like an issue. So now it's something totally different, and it's crazy.
That's sad, you're right, but that's sad as a mother.
It became an issue when rights started being evoked and people wanted that fairness. You know, there were certain court cases. But you know, because when at one point in time, people were gay, but it wasn't as prominent on social media, but they were still fighting for some legal rights. You know, if you lived with somebody for 11 years back in the day and something happened to you,
it was common law marriage.
yeah, but it wasn't recognized.
If he was gay.
It wasn't recognized though.
Right.
And you wasn't getting no benefits, no nothing. And for people who are paying taxes and paying for their own medical benefits, they should have the right to put their significant other on there, but marriage wasn't recognized either. So they fought for the equality to have marriage in order to have those marital rights.
Right.
So that, you know, they can have a home that if one of them passed away,
it get left to the
it
spouse.
get left to the spouse, or medical benefits, or dental benefits, or any other type of
That's
benefit.
why the world is the way it is now.
But that was the real set in motion that for wanting to fight for equality.
And I stand behind that 100%. But as far as at the end of the day, being gay is a sexuality. You don't have to throw your sexuality in my face. That's the only thing I don't like about it.
I agree with that.
That's like me going around like, oh, I like women, woo, woo,
Yeah.
women.
But you know
Women day!
Hey,
How everybody who loves women! Woo!
What's funny is
If you're a man who loves women, woo! Put your hands up! Like a
Feminism got pussy power out there.
But if you think about it, they allow them to go out that joint and motherfucking panty
Yeah, that's what I'm
briefs and
saying.
shit. And they like, ooh, he liberated, but you do that shit, they lock
What if we had an ass and
titties.
titties day and we rolled down the street on floats with big ass titties and ass just to celebrate women like, ooh, we love this how much we love women. Look at these big ass
But
That would
ass.
appear degrading.
But you gotta
But they
realize,
can,
I'm
but it's
just
the
letting you know.
But it's the old-
If
it's-
men did that, it would appear degrading.
but no, it's the
to women.
old sayings. Money talks. They run the world. They are in the offices. They are in the Congress, the Senates, the Hollywood. They run it.
They've always been there.
Yeah, but
They've
now,
always been
but
there.
what I'm saying is they
now
always been in.
equality, they've gotten some equality. There's
Shit, they got more equality than
there are
you do.
still
Yeah,
some
they do.
states
They
that.
got more equality than we can.
But what I'm
That was
saying-
his purpose for being in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obama
But
did
so,
that.
what I'm just saying
And
is
Kevin
that,
Gaddafi too, my bad. I got
what I'm saying is that
It was a lot too.
there are still people
Get that shit.
who are still fighting for equality, for equal rights. It's more prominent, but it's still not widely accepted. We like to think it's widely
It's
accepted,
widely accepted.
but there's still it's
Yeah,
not. There's still a lot of gay
You
bashing
say
and
something-
other things that are really going on.
You say something to a gay person and hit them, you get 25 to life.
That's not the point, but it's still taking place. Is what I'm saying is they
The
still do
discrimination.
not have fully equal rights, and that's why you still find them protesting and
Well,
putting
I'm mad
things
'cause they
out
got
there.
more rights than my people.
They ain't got no more rights than black
You
people,
crazy.
man.
Did you just say that?
They ain't got more rights.
Yeah, alright. Look down, look at you like you
Somebody
a
call
lunch.
me a nigga.
do they have that we
don't? You know what I'm saying? You think you call me a nigga? Hate me.
What do they have that we don't have?
The law tells you they have. If a white person smacked them and called him a nigga, he might get found hit with an assault charge.
So if you're a
Hold on,
black
listen,
gay
let
man,
me finish. He a black gay man. It still might roll the same way. It might roll the same way. But the difference is what's behind him for him being a gay man, that person getting a hate crime.
It is a hate
Automatically.
crime.
It's a hate crime.
Yeah.
It's only a hate crime against them. It's not that hate crime was
That's not
built.
true. There are some cases that have.
Which
one?
the whole time it might not even be a hate crime. So that law is still undressed. I might not even slap this nigga because he gay. He probably popped out the mouth going crazy.
Yeah,
So I slapped him. Just so happy he gay and he want to tell a story about I popped out because he gay. And now I'm getting charged with a hate crime.
No, listen what I'm saying. It becomes a hate crime if when you slapped him, he heard you call him a faggot.
He can say that though. He could just make that
Guess
up.
who's gonna win?
He could just make that up.
Guess who's gonna win? I'm trying to tell you who gonna
There
win.
was a point in time when I knew exactly what they had overs, but I'm drawing a blank right now. You're lucky. You know what I'm talking about? It was a point in time when I knew.
Bro,
I did the research.
All
You know
I'm
what I'm talking about? I did the
saying,
research.
don't
You're
test
talking
me.
about
Just don't test me. Just don't test me.
you talking about white gay men.
No, I'm talking about gay men, period.
Nah,
gay,
man.
period.
Nah, man.
So one thing I do
Nah,
want to
bro. You're talking about a white gay man. It's a man right now buried beside my mother who was murdered, and the motherfuckers didn't go to jail. He was a transvestite, and the motherfuckers got off in DC. And nah, it probably
When was this? Don't tell me this was like 2 weeks.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
How long ago
The
was
only
it?
reason I remember this dude's headstone is because he got killed on my birthday, and I googled the nigga. But I don't know.
How long
I'm
ago
standing
we
there
talking?
talking to my mother,
Well, hold on, we gotta
and I
say how
see.
long ago we talking.
I don't remember the year he passed away.
That has a lot to do with it. Though.
I don't.
That has a lot to do with it.
You're
It don't
talking
matter.
15, 20 years ago?
No,
or
not that long.
5,
This
10
is
years?
2000s. This is 2000s. Like it's probably was Obama era. Like I don't know, but
Out there in the
What was the
bar.
story behind the joint? Did he not tell Obama he was a girl or something like?
Oh,
I think you can still get away with that though,
That's
yo.
very common.
I think you can get away with that. Not saying you
but
can't.
that's still a hate crime.
It is still a hate crime.
But they
say
if you got enough money for a good lawyer, they can say, man, Obama flipped out.
But I tell that story. I tell that story to say he was black. Now, let that would have been a white man, a white gay man, them motherfuckers would have went to jail. Fuck what you heard.
Probably.
They would have went to jail. No
Still
fucking
black. I mean,
problem.
they still hold that against you. You know
Yeah,
what I'm talking about?
yeah.
But once
That's
you
what I'm saying.
get under that
Yeah,
gay breath,
it's like a big
you know what I'm
umbrella,
saying?
yo.
You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you know what I'm black though.
Yeah, that shit don't wipe away shit.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got the debating Virgos in the house.
Yeah, man, we gotta watch out for this law they trying to push, man. Shit called pedosexual, man.
Oh, yeah,
I heard about that
sexual
shit.
It's trying to make pedophiles like cool.
I mean, that's the spin-off for the LGBTQ community.
Yeah,
They're trying to be a part of that.
I'm sorry.
I have no
What
clue,
is
but I know it's there.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I don't know what
LB.
it's
But did y'all see the YouTube joint?
Q.
It's a YouTube joint. I know a lot of people don't like watching certain things on YouTube. They think it's bullshit. But how they say in the books, this stuff you talking about right now, this was written in the book a long time, like in Congress or something. Like all the pedophiles and having sex with kids and all. That's their whole agenda. It's like to do whatever they want. I'm trying to tell you, it's bigger than what we just. Oh, they just want to be able to have insurance under their girlfriend name. It's more than that. I think it's youngest, I ain't
But
gonna say it.
that's where it's going.
That's crazy.
That's where it's going because with the
sexually
transvestite thing, you know what I'm
sick,
saying?
man.
They're like, okay, so it's okay for you to be born a man in a girl's body. That's why you get the surgery. You know what I'm saying? So you can be a girl because you always have been a girl on the inside. So now they're saying, hey, well, I'm grown, but I always felt like a kid on the inside, and I love children. So, you know what I'm saying? That should be
But
okay.
you know what?
too.
But so how do
You know
you
what I'm
protect
saying?
your kids at that point?
Young is a law. They
You definitely protect.
I give it a
That's
look.
what I'm saying. How do you protect
I
your
said
kids?
that they changed the whole bathroom law. Like that was crazy.
that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Like how do you protect your child?
Once you did that, yeah. Once you did that, you already know they.
Like I don't want to be able to trust my 7-year-old daughter to go into the bathroom when I know a grown man can walk in just right behind her and he can say, "Oh, I just identify as a woman."
Nah, I ain't
Or I could wake up tomorrow and be like, "Oh, I identify as a woman," and walk into a woman's
I'm
bathroom.
gonna identify my kid now.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
We're talking about kids. How you feel being a new father, Slim? I'm gonna throw you out there like that though.
Wait, before you talk about that, we are already like a half hour in, and you know who didn't introduce himself? You.
I didn't think I had to.
You.
Are you a recurring member on the show? I just had to ask.
No, he is not. He's not. He's a co-host for the Male Takeover, but I'm just, you know.
How y'all doing? I'm JC's. I'm co-hosting for the Male Takeover, Herspiration. Thank you for having me.
You know what? Who are you?
I just said who I am.
Okay.
She wants you to get some background,
Yeah,
man.
she can get
Some
some
talk some
background.
accolades, man.
For all the ladies out there.
All the ladies, you
Hit me on my handle.
I can't.
But nah, back to what I was asking, how you feel being a father? I mean, only reason why it's wild to me because I knew you know about what? Damn, about 10 years ago, right?
Probably so about 08.
Yeah, about 08, about 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, was I a father 10 years ago? When I
Yeah,
met
she
you?
just turned 10. She just turned 10 in April.
Yeah, I be forgetting kids sometimes.
Oh my goodness.
Just know you get older.
Hey, I'm a real father, I can say that. Hey, and don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Look, she be right there, Daddy. That's not my birthday, Daddy. Like,
She
oh,
do say that.
like, this, my man.
Yeah, there's a lot of deadbeats who don't even know they.
That's what I know the bills do.
You sound just like me, dog.
That's what I know
It should
the
be
bills do, though.
Whatever. It's like,
How has that changed for you now, though, from going from not having kids to having kids? Are you married or
Not married.
okay?
It's a learning process. I mean, having to kind of like catch yourself, like so you don't curse, like certain things you say, certain stuff you do, because you know they're always watching. And you know, kids pick up on stuff too, like even your energy, tension, like you having to be between the female or your other partner, you know, they pick up on that stuff. So
smart.
that's kind of like the process of it. It's not bad. I mean, I'm still learning as I go, you know, still getting older and learning. So, but it's cool just to have somebody, you know, looking up to you.
Mm-hmm. Give you a little something more to live for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, not that much.
You said no. See, you're an excellent father, though. I do give you that.
Alright.
You're a good
It's
father.
working out, paying a lot of shit. That's about it.
She got like 9 American Girl dolls. I think you're doing all right. How do you feel like fatherhood changed you?
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh shit, it calmed me down. I would probably know if I ain't had the cold, shit, ain't no telling what I'd be at right now. I'd probably be hooked up to an IV under the ground somewhere.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, we was running hard. I mean, I wasn't like I was no gangster, but I mean, we was partying hard. I mean, I was making money. I was.
So you'd have some alcohol poisoning
I
right now.
probably had about no kidneys and no livers by then. Me and bro, we was buying tables on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I'm being serious. I mean, so.
Like, wow.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the only reason why I stopped doing music. Cause I stopped doing music, it was like, all right, I'm working all this overtime, cause I gotta do a video and pay studio time and pay tuition and daycare. And it was like, you know what? I ain't getting no money from this over here. Yeah, I quit. I'm done. Like, yeah, it was like I'm done. And I wasn't gonna be in the studio talking about skirts and all that shit. So it was like,
Shit was switching up.
yeah, it was switching up. It was like, all right, I'm good, man. Like I'm straight, but I was happy with my decision. I'm always gonna love music. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I made peace. I was
I'm
cool.
happy about your decision.
You know
I
what I'm
wouldn't have
saying?
met you if I didn't.
But I mean, you know, I was cool. I was cool when I sat down and made my decision. I was cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my man's in there, always, man, come on, get in the studio one time. Like, for what? Like, I don't want. I always say that unless you got a following already or man, 40 and over, had the dudes out your SoundCloud. To me, that's just whack. To me, like, I ain't knocking nobody's dream, but I'm like, I'm about to be 40 next year. Not this year, next year.
Old man.
Smooth. And I still move with the youngest. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, ain't no, I can't see me at 40 still talking about, hey, yeah, listen to my YouTube, like, come on, dog. Like, you 40, dog. Like,
Yeah.
unless I'm making money off of it,
Then it's different.
Yeah. But still talk about I'm trying to get streams and shit. Like, I'm YouTube. Plus, you old. Depending on your mind frame, your upbringing, you ain't got time for the antics anyway. To get the streams or whatever that you're trying to
What do
get.
you mean?
The antics,
Okay,
the shit
yeah.
you see on the way I came up, I'm not willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But you know, and I don't want
freestyles or
Yeah, I ain't got time, you know. But I mean, like I
Still
said,
doing open mics.
yeah, I mean, which is nothing wrong. My thing is nothing wrong with it, and I'm not knocking nothing. That's just a decision I made for myself. You know what I'm
Have
saying?
kids and you don't have real income coming in to support them if you're trying to still pay for studio time and all those other things.
Yeah, that shit costs money.
Yeah,
It is-
yeah,
and it ain't-
going
especially
your own
when-
business costs money. You
It's-
ain't going to invest it well.
But I mean, it
not
costs
just
money,
something
especially
that's
when you ain't got it coming
smoke.
back. Like that time we did that video when we went up to the studio, when we did them 2 joints at one time.
Yeah.
Man, that shit cost me almost $700, $800. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we had a good ass time though. I'll never forget that day. We had a bomb ass time that day. But when you start to think about it, you like, shh, yeah, I could have paid about 2 weeks of daycare and tuition with that or something like that. It's just, you just put your priorities in different perspectives. You know what I'm saying?
For me, I just love to make music. I don't think it'll ever be a point I would stop creating music.
You don't think so?
Nope. Like I didn't quit twice. Like they tell you, I
Yeah.
didn't quit twice.
So
Like,
they be coming back. That's not
like
a
I
bad
don't.
thing.
I just love music. I would like even when I quit, like I would hear stuff, and it's just like I just think about, oh, I would have did this way, or I go and just listen to a beat. Like I don't even rap, but I just wanna. I'm inspired to write stuff.
But you all
And I
already
think
have
it's-
like a following base. You're already
Yeah,
out there.
y'all
Your brand is out
established.
there, so
In my eyes, I look at y'all established. So y'all got it.
I appreciate it because I still feel like
we still
But the thing is, y'all keep the way y'all doing it, your marketing, the way you doing it, keep doing it. Cause
Make
I
me
mean,
another song for no. Make me another song that
that was the old
I know,
big
so you know.
fella.
I know that, but so here's the thing: is that you know the theme music. Just even finding that it resonated with me. I was like, oh, I can bump this. Hey, this is
Right.
perfect for it. So you know, just FYI for the audience, the intro and outro is from Big Fella. Off one of his, what you said, it was like back in 2000.
I was
2012.
12.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but I was bumping it and it still sounded good to me.
It's classic.
It
Classic
is,
music.
and so, you know, you can always update.
That's what I always try to make, man. Like just good music. You know, I wasn't really trying to impress nobody. Just make good music, man. Like
Definitely
what
nice.
fits you, and try to bring unity around your sound. Like a lot of people don't. I feel like a lot of people don't do that because you touched on it. I think another interview we had, like everybody had that regional sound,
Right.
and I feel like we don't have that here in this
No,
area.
man.
You know what I mean? Like
That's because we get wits in this area.
yeah, like Chicago got drills,
Yeah.
Atlanta got
I feel like
and all that
that's-
stuff. Like
And I feel like that's something that's recent. Like I don't know, and it's maybe because
Well,
we
shit,
went to
everybody
college,
says
like,
Yeah,
and we
missed some
just
shit.
and we just wanted like people to know like DC, like DC.
Yeah.
So we was in North Carolina repping hard.
So
Like
I'm even glad you're saying that. So for people to hear this is, I think, one of the most influential things is that even though you've been rapping for a long time and you're still trying to establish yourself, you went to school. And some people don't do that. They're like, no, I'm going to do this rap thing. I'm going to do this music thing, and they putting themselves out there. In the meantime, you know, it's what won't ever go away is your education. You can always use that while you're trying to get to where you need to be.
I tell anybody that's right now that's in high school listening to this podcast, go to college at least 1 year. Just do 1 year. If you want to drop out after 1 year, cool, but at least do 1 year, and I promise you gonna want to go back your second year. I promise you.
It now depends on where you go.
And I feel like it don't really matter where you go. I feel like if you go there with an open mind, you gonna have fun.
I always say I said I regretted that though, not going to college. I said always just to see how it feel. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I always went on colleges for their parties, but I never went to college.
Not even just the parties, like everything. Just meeting people from other cities, that's invaluable. It's invaluable. It shows you how different you are and how much you got in common. It's
You also build your network that way. That's one of the strongest things now. You can build your network.
Yeah, Angela.
People know what?
Nothing.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. I got Angela be on the Breakfast Club. No matter what they say, she in the networking. How much do you make? You be like,
you know what,
bro? Worry about people investments.
I don't care about anybody.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about that's how she be on the
Breakfast Club. I'm just
Club.
going to tell you that networking is so essential because that's how you get your social media up. That's how you get connected to be able to make music go across the world. I mean, I've been, even for me with my business, one of the things that I try to make sure and do is where I'm everywhere. If I go, you said shameless plug. No, it's not a shameless plug. No, everywhere I travel, I will look on Eventbrite and let's see what's going on, something quick that I can go to as a means to network. And now just by doing that, I know people in Detroit, I know people in LA, I know people who are in San Antonio. So I know you got lost in Detroit. It's okay. I went for an event in Detroit and he dropped me off.
Yeah, all I'm supposed to do is make it back down to the hotel.
But networking is really essential. But one person connected to many people. So I think
the gangsters not too far from downtown in Detroit.
Education does the same thing. So I stand behind education. I'm an advocate for education.
Yeah.
Can't help myself.
Anybody in high school that's listening to this podcast, go to college 1 year. You won't regret it. I got a niece in college right now. She graduating next year, man. I feel like a proud father, even though I'm her uncle, man. So
yeah,
it's
it
cool.
is. Education is, but also they need to understand it's not about your education; it's about your application. So if your focus on going to school is just to say that you have a piece of paper, you're still gonna look dumb as hell. That I know some of the most educated people who have PhDs and doctorates and masters and 4-year degrees, and they couldn't really do much from a box. Couldn't get themselves out of a box that's taped up. And so if you can't make whatever you do, no matter what, if you read a book, a self-help book, if you can't make it work for you and you can't make it applicable to your life, it's worthless.
It's gonna be worth it,
Worthless.
I always say college is being an adult in a controlled environment. That's what college is.
Is it really controlled?
Yeah.
I don't remember my first year being that controlled.
I say it's a controlled environment because you're not paying rent, you ain't paying no extra bills. So those are the variables you have out here in the real world.
Control.
Exactly. You
get that freedom.
Yeah, you have all of that. So you got the controlled environment of not having to pay bills, but all the adult freedoms. So
you would be broke.
Yeah, you'd be broke, but that's the quality you need when you become an adult and you get broke. You be like, hey, I remember
I went to school.
Yeah, well, for me, the first year I didn't have to work. My mom said by the time I started my second year, I have to have a job, so that I did that. But I wasn't even allowed to work in high school, so I know I'm one of those weird kids out here.
Must be nice.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to work.
Shit, I had to. My father gave us $200 for Christmas. He better buy summer, spring, and fall clothes.
But you know what? I'm gonna
I need a job after that.
But you know what? But that's the whole thing. Growing up, at least you was able to have that option. We couldn't just say we wanted jobs. We was like, well, can we get a job? Because there were things that we wanted. Just like, you know, for my 16th birthday, they wanted to give me a car. I'm like, no thank you, you can keep your car. If you won't let me have a job, that means my gas is regulated. Once it's made to go to and from school, so all that extra joyriding.
Right.
So if it's going to be controlled, no thank you, I don't want it. I had a boyfriend, I had his car. Use his car all the time.
That's what's up.
No, I'm just saying.
Pop your collar.
I did, I'm just being honest.
Nigga, stay your ass in the house. Give me the collar.
He worked a lot at night, so yeah.
Oh man, Doug Lowe been quiet this time.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, there ain't no this time. This only time. Good.
No, he hasn't. Y'all, but they was just in a three-way debate. He even pointed out that's what 3 Virgos.
Ooh. Oh, me,
All
Doug Lowe,
of
yeah.
us.
Oh, you a Virgo too?
Yeah.
Oh, when your birthday, dog?
September 15th.
16.
Oh shit, I'm the 16th. That's what's up, Joe.
When is yours?
August 25th.
Okay.
I mean,
Hey.
height of Virgo.
I know fellas in September also, yeah.
Yeah, you know, September.
You're a Virgo too.
Good.
Good God, I'm amongst a bunch of Virgos. So.
Because
I still have the best sign in the zodiac. So I'm married.
I mean, but
Scorpio.
you know the most billionaires in the world are Virgos, right? You know
Say
saying?
what?
The most billionaires in the world are Virgos.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a
That's
fact.
true.
That's right.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going now.
Google this, baby.
That's all right there. Benjamin Franklin was a Virgo.
But yeah, man.
She like y'all to do that too.
Say he's born September
Virgos is
15th.
the best sign in the zodiac.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I mean,
No, it's not.
I understand how you feel, but you were the Virgo, so
I know.
you know you
Oh,
can't
did
really
y'all,
talk to.
Yeah, we the best people.
Y'all hear
Hands down,
Nas' new
for
album
sure.
today?
No,
Oh, we came out today.
Nah, hold on. Calm down.
I thought it came on Friday.
Calm down. I heard.
Nah, they ain't
I got
it.
the plug.
Oh, you heard on title?
No, because
I
it's
got
not even
tight.
on time.
I'm a
That's why they
tight.
clown
You know
him.
what I'm
No, that's why they clown him because the album out, but it ain't out. Like it ain't out. I heard it off of YouTube, but it's not out on no streaming service.
no
And
service.
I didn't know you hear it on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. I lie to you not.
Isn't that a streaming type thing anyway?
The album is on YouTube.
Okay.
So I just typed Nas' new album.
No, yeah, and I listened to it this morning. No bull.
I don't think that's the real album.
No, that's the album. Ye produced it, and I have to say, I don't want to say one of the best ones, but it's one of the most relatable ones, though.
I'm about to say
And
Ether
again,
was the
and
shit
what
though. I
I'm
love
talking about album. I'm talking about
album.
song. What I'm saying
No, the
is,
Ether album.
Ether wasn't an
I'm
album.
just saying the album that Ether was on.
Oh.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
still
I
matters.
still,
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool,
I like that.
but I think I like this one a little more because the beats are more relatable.
Yeah.
Nas, I don't care. It always been an argument. Nas is the greatest, but his beats is too boom bap. Man, like his beats is garbage. Like
Virgo too, man.
like I love Nas, but I be like,
Hold
okay.
up, hold
yeah,
up.
I'm
I'm telling you, I'm
Hey,
going to
Slim.
everybody's birthday.
Hey,
That's why I'll keep
Slim. After 1 or 2, 3 joints on a Nas album, like, alright, I'm good, you know?
I say from Stillmatic on, he's been much better.
Nah,
What?
I like the joint. What's the joint he just did it with the girl? We had the green dress on the album cover.
Yeah.
Like hair on
Life is good.
Life is good. Okay, he had probably about 5 of them with good beats on the joint.
5.
I'm not going straight through a Nas album, no skipping. You're not about to tell me you're doing that.
I do it.
Stillmatic. I
You
don't
do
skip.
it just to pay homage.
No.
I
Stillmatic.
do it 'cause I gotta hear everything. I gotta
No,
hear
I
everything.
do it the first time.
Yeah,
Stillmatic.
I gotta hear everything.
Stillmatic. I might skip one song on Stillmatic.
Shit, I'm
Hip hop is dead. Rides out.
Nah.
You crazy.
But you must like them type of beats though.
No, it's what how he flowing and everything.
I love the way he flow. I just don't like what he flowing on.
What?
Yeah, I can't
Hip
get
hop is
it.
dead.
What's
I
the song?
can't get it.
Hip hop is dead. Rides out.
Yeah, which one he just did with Future?
Esco. Yeah, the
Esco joint?
Walkthrough.
The joint was cool, but he don't sound right on that joint though. I think he sounded right on that joint though. Yeah. I liked it, but I just think it's great.
I think he stepped down his box. Like,
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah, he
That's what
did.
men sit around and talk about all day.
For sure.
Didn't you get asses to do that?
Hey, feel free to throw in some other talk.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just
Just like a woman. So this is what y'all talking about?
No, but at the same time,
I done seen your
ask just questions that women want to know, like, you know, as
questions
well.
that women want to know.
Oh, yeah, that's
about men.
Oh, you know what? Okay, so here I can ask a few. You know, let's see. The first one. What's the obsession now with, and how do you all feel about all of the excessive surgeries on women?
Oh,
I don't like that.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not with it, but it definitely look good.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't saying I want a chick with it, but it look good.
I say a woman should love her body. Like, you are who you are. And if,
It was a gift.
and if he don't like you for who you are, fuck that nigga. Like, it's a nigga who out here who probably worshiping you from
Ladies
afar.
currently looking
Real
for
shit.
guys.
No, I got a woman. Don't you know what I'm saying? I gotta go home tonight.
That was a safe answer right there. We like that answer.
I gotta go home tonight. But yeah, I feel like
But that's the
all
thing
women
that-
should love
But
themselves.
that's the thing that
right?
they compete with, or they feel like they need to compete with, and that's why you find women who see all these things that their men are liking or attracted to, or just
But what-
visually,
It's just a
visually,
fantasy.
visually.
Hold on, chill. Hold on. Let me say. Hold on. Let me say something.
Magazines,
Let me
all
say
that
something.
shit.
No, see, hold on. Let me say something. No, that's the problem with women. Y'all in our business, because all the time we like looking at it, but we don't want it. That's the difference. It's just because we look at it.
Or
I can look at
we
it.
just want it for the moment.
But the thing is, I can look at it all day. I look at it all day. I follow them all day.
Man,
I
I
don't
work
want.
in the strip clubs.
I don't want it though. Just because we like looking at it, don't mean we want that for ourselves. I might see. Well, I ain't gonna lie. I see a fan, I want it for myself. But what I'm saying is, just because
you like chocolate cake don't mean you want it for dinner.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might not, you just don't, that don't mean you want it. We men, we just like doing shit that don't make sense. Like, we like looking at it, that don't mean we want it. I'm
not worried.
Am I telling the truth? Because
I'm not
most of the
worried.
time, and the reason why we don't want it, because for once, you know the headache that bullshit gonna come with anyway, depending on how old you are. You like,
Yeah.
I'm good. Like, it's true. The older you get, you gonna be like, yeah, she's the star of the group. Yeah, give me the one that's not the star. Because your mind frame is like, I ain't got time to go through all the bullshit that the star gonna give me, because she used to getting hollered at every night. I'm gonna go ahead and skip down 4 levels to at least the second to last joint. But she just gonna be happy a nigga talk to her. You
gonna pray on the self-esteem.
I'm praying still. Like,
Praying on the self-esteem.
self-esteem and love.
How the hell did you end up with me? That's
Exactly.
you know.
Opposite. You know,
I'm talking about
the opposite of what
Actually,
I'm talking as a single. If I was a single dude, I'm just saying. If you
I
out,
talk to him.
but if you out, if you at a bar,
that for women.
what I'm saying, when I was single, I was never the one that go for the one with the halo and the star and the light shining on her when you walk in.
But the
because you gonna let me finish talking real quick? All right, so because most of the time it come with a rock of bullshit. She even finished getting hollered at all day. So now you nigga number 25, and she just gonna brush you off anyway. So it's like it's a waste of time. Like, and plus that one probably got so many issues. The one that's not the star, but still look good. I ain't saying the 5th one down don't look good, but she just don't get the attention because she might not dress the way the one in the light do, or wear the makeup and the hair. She just might look regular, but she like that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's just me. I never went for that one that's just everybody around her, like, because it always comes with a headache. That's what I think.
Yeah, he called me bougie.
I mean, I think it comes with a headache. You know what I'm
He didn't
saying?
talk to him. He saw me, but he didn't really talk to me when we
What are you
first
talking
met.
about,
When we
yeah?
first met, you wouldn't talk to me if I didn't say nothing to you.
Nah, for what?
I think all Virgos are like, I'm
Yeah,
like that.
like,
Like,
yeah,
shit,
like,
See, I'm just saying though.
Yeah.
But you was looking at me. You talked to me after I talked to you.
See, the thing about a Virgo, like, we not going to show interest in you unless you show some kind
it's
of
like,
interest
yeah,
as well.
it's
It's like,
like
you said, it's like, it's a waste of my time.
It's a waste of my
Why
time.
I go up to you and be like, oh, you looking
then you
good
try to-
tonight?
I
You
ain't
like,
got time for all that.
like, why? I shouldn't even.
Yeah, I'm
I
good.
should have just stayed over there and just chill.
The first thing I asked him was what?
What my if
Or
my
I
shoes
said-
fake or real?
I said, are those knockoffs? He had on Gucci all the way down, so I was like, are those knockoffs? And I love Gucci. I had a love of Gucci at the time. Still love it, but not, I love it in moderation now. But yeah, I like Gucci, and I saw him, and so actually I was with another coworker, and he said, see, you're not the only one that like Gucci. I looked over, he is an all white. So I asked him, I was like, hey, are those knockoffs? And he was like, looked at me, he was like, nah, Slim. But that's how we started talking.
That's how we don't ask questions. Don't do you.
That broke the ice. And if I didn't talk to him, we wouldn't be sitting here today. Nearly 5 years later. He always say, I can't believe that I was that bougie girl that turned out to be so cool. Say, we cool.
Say, alright.
You said cool. See what I have to deal with? But he's my biggest fan. That's okay.
Right.
My biggest fan.
But I think, but like you said, we
So you just like shit that you don't want.
what they call it?
We're
I guess it's
entertained.
Yeah, we
That's a
entertain.
better
Yeah,
word.
we entertainment. It's entertainment. Yeah, it's something to do.
So then let me ask this. This will be the last thing
Y'all
I
always think about women. Y'all always fake y'all don't be looking at dudes though.
I didn't say that.
You know, women never try. But no, I'm not saying you. But don't women always try to fake like they don't look at dudes though? Y'all look at dudes all day that y'all like.
Hello, you broke look, first of all, we always had what we always say, well, you know what, that one person, like, who was yours for the longest? Jill Scott, or was it K. Michelle before she started doing
It's
some Trump
Bernice
shit?
Burgos now.
Okay. Anyway,
Upgrade, right here, you know what I'm saying? I'm on Bernice. Hey, she's a Bergen dog. So,
So when I say, oh, you know what, like my little male crushes, he always say, oh, you know, he sleep with men. I'm like, well, damn, okay, that just kills the
just let you know.
I love
You know what I'm
Maxwell. Next you know, he was like, oh, you know Maxwell sleep with men. I'm like, well, then
my man told me on tour, that's who he ride. I don't know what you be saying this on the podcast though, but.
Still trying to get sponsors.
Y'all got to sleep on before you even got there.
Central water.
No, but it just kills my little dream. So now I have to find me a new one. Now find me somebody. I gotta find me another crush. It's okay. So anyway, before we end this podcast, I'm gonna let everybody give plugs. So I'll start with you, big fella. Where can people find you at?
Everything is at Walking Sim Card. If not Walking Sim Card, everything's at the Metro Cartel. Check out the website, www.themetrocartel.org. Check out the SoundCloud, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the social medias.
It's all under Metro Cartel? Okay. What about?
I mean, outside of the Metro Cartel, everything at Doug Low. Yeah, I mean, but move them clickers, man. TheMetroCartel.org. I got our merchandise, got our clips, our videos, our music, everything like that, man. So check us out.
Yeah, the Metro Cartel.
On everything. On everything.
Me personally, IG, Avin.T, IVIN.T on Instagram. Everything else, it's still my personal account, so y'all can't have that shit. But yeah, TheMetroCartel.org, 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 TheMetroCartel.org.
Okay, yeah. Extra plug.
I learned that in marketing class. You say anything 5 times, people remember it.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! In that case, my Cash App is $.
So
PayPal, JAY.
where can people find you? You have your musicians for sale?
Oh yeah, you can find me musicians for sale.
You might want to
On
spell it
IG.
out because you have a
Oh.
number in there.
Musicians #4 sale SALE on IG. Musicians for sale C on Instagram and on Facebook.
Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, I thought I said Twitter. Musicians for sale C on Twitter. My
Okay.
fault. Yeah, my bad. Yeah. Tag us, hit us up. Anything you trying to promote or whatever, get at us. We still in the process of rebuilding and making it bigger and better, and it'll be done in another couple of months. So don't give up on us yet.
Declassified coming soon.
For sure. New music coming out, man. Declassified. I can't believe we got that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
had to plug that in. Declassified coming soon. New B.I.G. fella coming soon. New Duck Low coming soon. New Ivy T coming soon. All that. But Declassified, man. Go download, stream, Vice, Trenches, Never Stop, Poppy.
Just download everything.
And
Respect.
hit us in our Gmail if you want some exclusive shit. We send it to you for $30.
Man, tell AP put it on YouTube, man. So,
You want to hear unreleased music?
Okay.
Hit us in our Gmail, dmetrocartel@gmail, and we'll send it to you for $30.
And
Early releases, $30 per song.
good God. So before we
Don't nobody steal my hustle. Early releases.
So before we close out this male takeover, I have to tell you where you can find Herspiration Happy Hour. We are on 5 different platforms. You can now find us on.
Talk your shit.
Let's see. I gotta remember all these because there's so many of them now. We're on iTunes.
Hey.
We are on SoundCloud.
Hey.
Buzzsprout.
Hey.
Podbean.
Hey.
And Listen Notes.
Hey.
So you can find us and tune in. We also have a YouTube page, Herspiration, where you can see behind the scenes footage, including this one with all these damn Virgos that's near me. Personally, I can be found on Twitter at I am Dr. P. Gurley, on Instagram at _authenticallyme_. Facebook is irrelevant because that's my private page. And since it is Father's Day weekend, I'm just going to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, uncles, great men that's out there. I'm going to give a special shout out to a couple of really, really good fathers I know outside of Mr. J. Caesar here that's right next to me. My brother-in-laws, both Joseph Rooney and Jermaine Wynn, who each have 5 children, so God bless them. But they are some magnificent fathers. Also, Nate Bogan, who is a really good, who's the husband of a really good friend of mine. And then Shai Corman, who is a co-worker of mine that used to work with me, and he's an excellent father as well. And he actually, him and his sisters have a podcast called Family Night Movie. And I was on their podcast before, so shout out to Shai Corman as well. And on that note, we are going to close out. Anybody have any last minute words that they want to shout out besides metrocartel.org?
The shots.
Well, take some shots?
No, we're not taking some shots. I'm not. Yeah, so we'll go around really quick, which is normally a tradition of the Herspiration Happy Hour.
To take shots?
No, you give a shot of Herspiration. And in this case, it's a shot of Herspiration. It's one tip that you can give to a father. You can give a tip out there too. What's yours, big fella?
Tip for a father?
No, just a tip period. You wanted to.
Be aware. That's what I said. Yeah, be aware of what's around you. What's going on as far as your race, history, what's current. You know, I'm a firm believer that you must know the past in order to move to the future. For the parents, just teach your kids what not to do. Certain situations, situational awareness is very important, and that's it.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna take mine to, valuing gifts. You know, I'm talking about this life is a gift. No one asked to be here, so value your life as a gift, and know that your time is the most important thing that you have. It's the only thing that you spend that you can't get back.
Wow.
I thought you was about to start freestyling.
It didn't sound like it.
I thought he wanted to start just spin it like you to get it back. So it was like,
I thought the same thing. I was like, if he's about to stop, no, you used to mics being in front of you. My God, you ready?
I would say know that your decisions don't only affect you, they affect other people as well. So don't just think, don't live your life selfishly, So even if you feel like you died today and nobody's gonna care, there's someone who's gonna be destroyed by that. So just know your decisions affect everyone else as well.
Okay. J. Caesar, what's your tip?
I don't even know if I have any tips, but all I can say is both is kind of a contradiction. I say live your life for you. Do what you want to do. Don't second guess it, because it's only your life. There's gonna be a lot of people that ain't gonna like what you doing, like, and if they don't like it, fuck them, because you only gotta worry about what's under your roof, and I'm just speaking that from experience. Also, don't mistake your associates for your friends. A lot of these people ain't your friends. As soon as you do something they don't want you to do, they phony and fake. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just how I go. You know, from now on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I can give you the what's up all day, but that don't really mean I fuck with you, and that's just being real. Other than that, I mean, you know, keep your family close. You know who your family is. You know who there for you. You know what I'm saying? And you know, if you got somebody to live for, just remember that. You know, for the people with kids, you know, just know them kids ain't asked to be there. So before you do something stupid with your life, just remember you got somebody else, and you gave up your life when you made a life. And I think that's what a lot of people forget. Like I said, that's just the people with kids. If you ain't got no kids, you can do what you want. You know what I'm saying? But respect. Yeah, I mean, I'm being real. You can do what you want, but if you got a kid out here, it ain't no, you know, mama gotta have her life too, or daddy gotta have it. You gave that up when you bust on, when you agreed to have that child. Respect. So your life is up. You know what I'm saying? Till they get on their own. So you know, that's all.
Okay, so I'm gonna end by, I had recently found one way back in the day, something that I had wrote. It's called 5 Simple Truths About Life. Number 1, education and intelligence accomplish nothing without action. Number 2, happiness and success are 2 different things. 3, all people possess dimensions of success and dimensions of failure. Number 4, every mistake you make is progress. And number 5, you will never feel 100% ready when the opportunity arrives. And on that note, we will close out until the next podcast.
Everybody.
We off the patrol. Hey, we off the patrol. Hey, 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 we off the patrol.